Let's hit the full sweep here, because in the worst case, it'll still get you out of a shitty spot, which is getting stacked. One thing you need to keep in mind here is this. Half guard is much more of a counterattacking position than an attacking one, okay? The main attacking position from the bottom is the butterfly guard. Here, I'm in a position where I'm attacking Zenga and he's defending, okay? Half guard is much more of a counterattacking position because most of the time I depend on an initial position or movement from Zega to do anything. For example, if he sits back there, pins his head to my hip, and locks it up here, I've got nothing. I can't do anything. Here, I can't do a damn thing. So, I depend on his movement to be able to work. What I have to avoid in half guard, like I already told you, is having both sides of my hips and both shoulders on the mat. If I've got both sides of my hips and both shoulders on the mat, I'm screwed. This means it's way easier for Zega to either stall the fight or pass. So, we're going to use a little trick here that works for sweeping, if he's got the underhook here, in that position. Classic half guard position for the person on top. He's doing an MMA style position here, right? Classic top position, that's it. Putting this pressure here on the shoulder, on the face, right? And that underhook over there. So, this is the classic position. He's got the underhook here, putting pressure on my shoulder, on my face, so I can't turn that way, right? Now, here's where the sneaky sweep comes in, and it works like crazy. If the guy slips up, you will get it, or at the very least, you will create space to get out of here. Because the biggest weapon in half guard here is creating space in this situation. This here is a pain, because I'm going to have to fight with him. There are those techniques we covered in the side control class I taught you, where you can rotate a shoulder and get in, sure. But half guard is trickier because of his angle. He's not across me. He's at this kind of slanted angle, about 45 degrees, not 90 degrees. 45 degrees up here, see? Look, he's pressing right here, okay? So what am I going to do? Zulu, film my feet over there, please. I'm going to be locked in, with my legs in a triangle pointing out, right? Or kind of crossed, sort of closed off here at the calf, but with my leg sticking out there. I'm going to put this inside foot, the leg that's inside. I'm going to plant it firmly on the ground, as close to my butt as I can, okay? I'll step on top of it with my other foot, and now I'm going to squeeze my thighs together. I stepped thigh to thigh. I did this here. I'm going to close my elbow. Look, I closed my elbow. And now, keeping my thighs pressed together tightly, I contract my hips and start to rotate my hips. I'm going to rotate this hand. I can either keep it tucked in here or I can even hook the arm. I don't really like hooking the arm because then I'm giving away what I'm about to do, okay? If I'm here, Zay still doesn't know what I'm going to do. If I hook it, I'm already sending the message that I want to throw him over there, okay? I prefer to stay here. Look, tucked in here, hand on the ribs as if I'm just moving around. I step, thighs together, and now I contract my abs and start to rotate over there. All right? Why is it called the full sweep? Because, man, it's easy to do and it works like hell. I did it slowly, fight movement. I'm here. He's putting pressure here. Look. I closed it up. Bam. I stepped, tightened my leg, spun, see? All right, and go. This guy here is almost 100 kilos. So here, look, what can happen here? He might not go if I don't close this elbow here. It's possible he won't go, okay? But when I step here, thigh to thigh, if I don't lock the elbow, I'm wide open here. And if I just spin like this, for him not to get swept, he's going to open his hand over there. See? Right or not? So when I come back, I already come back with the underhook locked in, with my elbow back, protected. Or, like I was telling you guys, half guard, we usually think of this situation here. This is a half guard, okay? Now, this here is also a half guard. Let me lock the lockdown here. This is also a half guard with the lockdown. This here is another half guard, a half guard with a shield, which is really interesting to use in MMA. This is a half guard, butterfly half guard. It's still half guard. This is a half guard, deep half guard. This is another half guard, deep half guard on just one leg. All right? So it's going to depend. For example, I can use this little trick here, that basic sweep, to get to the classic half guard, where I'm going to get the underhook. Look, he's here, putting a lot of pressure. I'm struggling. I can't get out. I step, bring my legs together, go over there. Look, look. I came to my classic half guard. I can also do the same thing, where I push him. Look, I push and then come back with the shield. Shield half guard. I can use, it's going to depend on the goal. I can use it here. Step, thigh, thigh. I'm going to bump. Look. When he comes back, I can go into deep half guard. Then it's going to depend on the type of half guard you like to work with. Here's the thing about half guard, man. Half guard works. You'll get really good at half guard when you have sequences of movements linked together. Usually, how does a good half guard work? In terms of sweeps, a strong sweep and a strong sweep defense. That's what we did, coming up to try to flatten him, and when the guy defends, like we saw in the last class, we spin. And I like, to take you to another level, I like to link it with one of your strong submissions, something you can even use to come up and end up on top. Based on what we did in the last class, what would this combination be here? You can even do it with this thing right here, just so you guys have it in mind, okay? We're going to work on it. Like I said, at this first moment, there are a lot of new people on the team who haven't gone through this yet. I'm going over it block by block. Side control escape, mount escape, half guard. We're going to do closed guard. We're going to do mount. We're going to do everything in blocks. After that, we'll start linking things together, and then we'll link them in 3 stages: advancement, attack, and defense. And then we'll link 4, advancement to a dominant position, side control, back, mount, attack, and defense with counterattack, okay? When you reach the level of having 4 positions linked like that, man, your ground game is on another level, all right? But only building on what we've already done. Boom, 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 I got up there, sat down, first sweep, right? I went there. He stuck his leg, that big leg way out there. Look. Second sweep. A sweep is a defense against the first sweep. And so, for you to have a solid ground game, always aim for 3. What would I do from here? Boom. I got up. Boom. It didn't work. I dove in. He's going to throw the big arm out there so he doesn't get swept. Boom. See, it didn't work. My hand goes underneath. I attack the heel, the leg lock, which I can even use to get up, okay? Why do I like to use it to get up? In submission wrestling, I would tell you guys to get up. I would tell you to keep going and finish. But here, we're doing submission wrestling for MMA. In MMA, the referee, I could stay here for the wall, the whole round. He didn't understand what was going on in this mess here. And in the end, he still gives the win. Zay lands 2 punches on my thigh and the ref gives the victory to Zay. So in MMA, the intention is different. No, I couldn't finish. I switched it up. Boom. No, I'm not getting it. I have to figure out how I'm going to use this situation to get up and gain a dominant position, okay? The people who judge MMA most of the time are guys who come from boxing. I don't know anything. You're just going at it with brute force. Exactly. They understand very little about what's happening here, okay? So, do this sweep like a rookie, just a sweep. And then do it opening up space for half guard, which you guys like more. Let's go. Why do I place my foot here? It's precisely to prevent, when I do this here, from opening up and letting the guy pass, to stop him from being able to kick this leg over the right foot and kick it out to get a base, okay? So when I step here, I squeeze here. Look, that's it. I can't open up anymore, okay? It's no use doing this and then, when it's time to turn, doing this. He's going to pass. I don't have control. If he leaves his knee open and throws me over, I open up. You open it. Even worse, you move forward with your knee. Damn it. Move your knee here. Then you're screwed. Ah, that's true too. Okay? The best I'll be able to get is maybe a quarter guard there. Okay? So that's not it. It's here. Look, look, look. I closed it. Locked it. Man, I'm squeezing here like crazy. And I keep squeezing the side of my foot, which gives me the base, and I use my abs so that, while I'm squeezing, I can turn. Look, my feet are still together in my thigh too, okay? So I'm here. Pacoca is putting pressure here. Look, trying to pass something over there. I lock it. Look, heel to my butt, foot down, thigh to thigh. See? Okay? Don't open it. No. If you open it, you're screwed. If you open it, the guy passes. Go. You still opened it. It's still opening. This movement isn't. It's not explosive. Do it slowly. Squeeze. Thing. Look. Want to see? There you go. See? Here, it's more or less where? Yeah, on the inside. If he's got his arm there, it's on the inside. If he postures up, you hit from the outside. Hey, Pacoca. So, Pacaquinha, what do you do in this situation? I thought it was there. You have to work the hook. There, you have to work the hook. Either you throw this hook behind to prevent it, or after it goes, you throw the other hook underneath. Look, do it slowly to him. Do it. You can do it slowly. He has to go. Thigh, thigh, thigh. No, it's wide open here. It's going to get through. Now, turn slowly with your thigh closed. Look, he has to go. He waved his arm, returning, he goes. There you go. If anyone is having trouble, you know, opening the thigh, you can do it slowly, okay? It's this damn position that he has to go into. There's not much he can do. Look, you can resist there, Pacoca, so as not to scrape. And, are you steady there? I'm going to do it slowly. Thigh, thigh. He knows what I'm going to do. He's already shifted his weight here. See, he's already adjusted. Look, I'm going to do it slowly, slowly. There's no reason to do it explosively. See? He's going, slick guy. Go on, look, come back here. Knowing what I'm going to do. Why? Because the leg is closed properly. So, it's not a position for explosiveness. If you try to explode here, like I said, you're really going to mess yourself up. Your leg will open up. There's no way. It's in this position that I'm going to do it. Look, here it's fast, but there, it's slow. I need to keep my leg closed, see? Look, when I come up, yeah, this knee here, the work is done by the inside knee, okay? The abs are to keep it tight. Give me your finger breakers here. If I do this here, hold on. If I do this here, it won't work. I'm only using my leg, right? I'm only using the adductor. It's like this. Tighten your abs. Make it all one movement. And do what? Look, use your whole body, see? And this one stays firm, so it doesn't poke the other, the outside knee, when I go. So I lock it. See, I step down, lock it tight, squeezing my glutes, leg, abs. See? Look at my hips, okay? So I did this, look, easily, no problem at all. See? He's going to put his hand there so he doesn't get swept. I came back, kept my guard up. I went right where I wanted to go, okay? And here, guys, we did the sweep on the careless one. Now let's do the sweep on the surprised one. Why? You guys agree with me that, first, when I'm in this situation here, if he doesn't put in the overhook, man, the guy didn't put in the wizard there. Take out that wizard. Hey, the guy's right here. Man, I'm gonna kick down, Superman up, and I'm on his back, right? So any guy who knows even a little bit about ground game, he's going to put in the wizard. He's going to put in the overhook, okay? when he puts in a strong overhook there. You guys, do you agree that if I switch my leg there, and there are a few ways to do this. For example, look how Simon's leg is really well defended there. He hit his heel behind. See? Move off my shoulder that way. Did you see how he hit his heel behind? How do I solve this here? Oh, my knee. Oh. But do you guys agree that when I do this, he already feels that a sweep is coming? So there's a way for me to sweep the guy without him noticing. Why? Because if the guy is good on the ground, if he's responsive, man, making this switch here is complicated. It's really damn complicated. Although, if I make this switch properly, extending over there and pushing my hips forward here, then it's game over. There's really nothing he can do, okay? But even so, the guy knows what's coming. For example, Zay was clever. When Pacoca switched there, he hit the negative over to that side, right? Look, Tadua, he hits the negative over there to go for a leg lock. There you go. See? Okay? And there are ways for us to vary this here too, but that can happen. So, a great option here, when I have this underhook, is to press my head against Simon. Look. Man, I can even pretend that I want to grab his foot back there, because there's a sweep here. Bring your foot back here. There's a sweep that's right here. Look. Where I catch the foot and come up. See? It's a simple sweep to do, but hardly anyone does it. Man, it's gold. This sweep right here is pure gold, okay? We can even do it in the next class. I'm here. The guy's there. I come in here. Look to the foot under his butt. I go all the way to the tip of his foot. See? I pull it in. Try to take your foot out. Pacoca, you're not getting it out. See? Look, it's a nasty little sweep. Let's do it in the next. Someone remind me on Tuesday, because there are a few variations. There's this one. I can go this way, or I can go underneath. We'll go over that. But all right, let's focus on the surprise sweep here. I can fake like I'm going over there, and he'll try to counter with an overhook here. Of course, he doesn't want me to reach over there, see? So I'm pressing my ear against his chest, and this is important for those who didn't come to the other class where I talked about posture, okay? What's Pacoca's best position? Guillotine. If I put my head here, it'll be guillotine, right? If I put my head here, go for the guillotine, Pacoca. Look at how he has to expose himself. See, he has to, if he tries, he's going to expose himself a lot. Look, see that? Here, I come up and control him. So I can't go in sideways with my head here, see? So with my head here, I'm not even going to switch my legs so I don't spook the guy over there. The only thing I'm going to do right before my sweep is this. I'm going to bring my elbow close to my ribs. I'm here. I'm not going to let go of the waist. I'm just going to tap my elbow in here a bit, tighten up my lat. So I'm here. I'm going to push to grab the foot. He pushed back. I just locked it in here a bit. See, look, I pulled it toward me, closed my elbow, and now I'm going to dive my hand underneath. I'm not going to touch him with my hand. I'm going to go straight through, try to drive my shoulder into his thigh, and kick both my feet up toward the ceiling. Look, I'm pushing. He pushed back. I'm going to come here. See, look. Why both feet to the ceiling? So he can't throw that leg out. If I do it here, yeah, he can pull some trick there. See? Move your foot out, Pacoca. It won't work, okay? This hand of mine will be here. In other words, I'm not touching here. I'm doing it like this. Look, leg up there. And since my elbow contracted my lat, he can't get his arm out. And then, when he hits the ground, I kick out, so I don't end up in his half guard, okay? Why the surprise? Because this sweep is a fast sweep, all right? I put pressure there, Pacoca. Anytime you put pressure with your chest and the guy counters with an overhook, you can dive in. No doubt about it. Just don't forget to do this here. Look, because if I don't, I'm going to dive in. He's going to open up like a parachute, the skydiver move, and he'll end up on top like this. But that's fine. There are a bunch of variations I can use. Even if I dive in and he balances himself out there. Look, damn. I end up on his back. Master, is it good to do the move pushing like this? So, yeah, I don't like that one, because if he sprawls, I'm screwed. Did you guys get Zay's question here? If I can dive in, instead of this hand going inside, if I can dive in here. Why not? we just did, man, we just did that in the other sweep. But in the other sweep, I was at an angle so that even if he sprawled with that leg, sprawl with this leg here, look, see, I can move him. Here, if I go and he sprawls, see, I get stuck and lose the sweep, okay? So no, here I have to come in like this. Look, look. See? You notice that my hand went to pass through. See? Look. See how my shoulder is pressing into his thigh. That's what I want. When it goes through, I come up. All right? It's not here. See? The deeper it goes, the better, okay? So I have to remember to close my elbow just a little there. How do I do that? Aren't I at the waist? I give a little turn here. See? Look, when I make my elbow come into my hip here. See? All right. I pushed against him. Pacoca pushed back. Now I'm going, okay? Look, look. He pushed back. So I go, see? Go for it, man. Just go for it. All right? Try it out.